It's been exactly 1 year since I started delivering for Amazon Flex, where you take your own vehicle to a warehouse, pick up a bunch of Amazon packages, and deliver them to customers. It's a contractor position, it's a gig job, you're not on salary, you don't get benefits, but it was a pretty great opportunity while it lasted. I'm quitting kind of, but also you can't really quit because you're not hired, so you just uninstall the app. I started last October because I wanted to take a break from uploading videos, which YouTube has been my full-time job for almost 7 years now, and I needed a little breather and did 100 shifts total. And in total, I worked 320 hours. I knew from the very start, there's not much opportunity to grow with a position like this. You're just stuck in this same position. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. The part that's bad is I don't make as much money doing it as I used to. Even though I'm a much better driver than I was a year ago, I'm actually making less per hour, less per shift, and less basically per month doing Flex. Now, why exactly is this? I suspect it's because they're kind of reworking and tweaking the Amazon algorithm over time. The way Amazon Flex pays you is you don't get paid hourly or per package, but you get paid per block. Now, they do pay you based on an estimated hourly of $18 an hour, which is before expense, before tax, and of course no benefits and stuff. And so when I first started Flex, I was making 15 to 18 an hour because I was getting the hang of it and everything. But once I did start nailing it, I was consistently making 30, 40, and occasionally $50 an hour because I could finish shifts so early. This block of packages is put together by an algorithm, and they try to guess how long it's gonna take based on the number of packages, how far you're gonna have to drive to get to the first destination, and how far apart each house is. So for example, a 5-hour block could be just 10 or 15 packages, but those stops might be 5 to 10, maybe even 15 miles apart from one another, when the same 5-hour block that someone else took might end up picking up a cart of packages with 50 packages where each house is half a mile apart. And I think what they've done is really tweaked it so that the 18 an hour estimated is much more accurate. Because when I used to finish a 5-hour block in 3 or 4 hours, or a 4-hour block in 2 or 3 hours, I'm pretty much always finishing each block now at exactly the ending point that they suspect that you're going to. Now, it is circumstantial. For example, sometimes the warehouse is just kind of slow and there's not as many packages. Unfortunately, this also means that there's not going to be as many opportunities available. For example, on Prime Day, there's a lot of packages, and so there's a lot more opportunities, and they increase the rate of certain blocks that you can take. So instead of $90 for 5 hours, you might get $120, $125, sometimes even up to like $150 for that same hour block, because they desperately need more drivers and they want to entice people, because I think they would rather overpay their drivers a little bit versus have packages not get delivered. Now, when I was delivering last year around this time, I was pretty much only taking offers that were paying over the estimated 18 an hour. For example, in November, for some 4.5-hour blocks, I made $128, $119, $130, $103, $92, and $159 for something that would normally be a pay of $81. These simply aren't as common nowadays, and it's possible that once the holidays come, they will begin to increase again. But even in October, right literally like this week last year, there were some really dang good opportunities. But recently, there's been literally just no opportunities available a lot of times. For example, this October, I've done a resounding 4 Amazon Flex shifts, and I only take them when they pay very well, except for the first one, October 2nd. I did a 4-hour block for $72, which is just the base pay. And I ended up making 18 an hour before expenses because I did not finish early. October 9th, I did a 3-hour block for 25 an hour, for 75 total, which came out to 25 an hour. Again, I did not finish early though, so I got paid $25 an hour, which isn't too bad before expenses even. And then October 11th, I actually got 2 shifts, and this was the prime big day. It's like prime day number 2 of the year. So I was able to nail 2 good shifts, a 3-hour block for $93 and a 5-hour block for $125. But there were a lot of packages, and they did not make these shifts easy. The warehouse was kind of just exploding with packages, and they were clearly stuffing them all into those crates as much as they could. So hourly, yeah, I was actually satisfied with all 4 of those shifts. but that's 4 shifts in the past like 3 weeks. That's not going to pay my bills. Also, I forgot to mention I have a spreadsheet of all of my Amazon earnings, it's actually completely up to date right now. Now, I don't really recommend doing a whole spreadsheet. It's a little bit tedious, but you can if you're into that kind of thing. Generally, what I use is an app called Rocket Money to keep track, and I've used them for a few years now, and I am an affiliate. So if you'd like to download Rocket Money, you can keep track of your income, your expenses, it tracks your net worth, and I have found it to be very useful not only with these gig apps, but literally just all of my finances. So if you do want to use my link in the description for it, I get $10 when you sign up, but it genuinely has saved me money. They've even lowered some of my monthly bills. So if you'd like to use that, I suggest it, not only because I get money when you use it, but because I do use it every day. And so ultimately, the number one reason that I haven't been doing much Amazon is I do hope to increase my video output soon, but the majority of the reason is because I have been doing a lot of Uber driving. And the big difference between Uber and Amazon is Uber rewards you doing a good job a lot more because it's tip based. The majority of my money, like the good money I get, is from tips as an Uber driver and not just those base fees and stuff. My takeaway from Amazon is they care a lot more about quantity over quality. In fact, I don't think it's sometimes hard to tell if they care about quality at all when you deliver packages, because I have done some really lazy delivery jobs and I have received maybe 2 reports ever that packages have not arrived to the customer. And that was probably me leaving it outside like an apartment building instead of bringing it inside or returning it to the warehouse because I couldn't get in the building or something. And sometimes I'm just rushing, I throw it at the apartment building and I go. Or someone else stole it outside of the apartment itself, leaving it in a bad position where the person can't find it, or even the package like blowing away if it's a little envelope and it's left in an unsecure spot and the wind just takes it away. Uber, on the other hand, it's kind of all about quality and not so much about quantity. I make my whole life revolve around my passenger when I have one, because I want the biggest tip that I can possibly get. And believe it or not, I also just want them to be happy. I want them to have a good time. I want them to enjoy the ride. And yeah, it's me and another person in the same car together. We both wish to have a pleasant time. And the great thing is, the happier, I like how I keep pointing back as if there's a passenger there like right now, the happier you make them back there, you're not guaranteed to make more money, but you are definitely increasing your chances. And this goes for other apps as well, like with DoorDash, which I just don't like DoorDash, or Instacart, which I'm just terrible at Instacart. These 3 apps and other apps like them give you opportunities to kind of flourish a little bit more. You can play to your strengths and make your clients happier, versus Amazon is just throwing packages at doors as fast as you can, and no matter how good of or bad of a job you do, you make about the same money. So say with Instacart, you prioritize, you know those best grocery stores, you know the best times, you know the best neighborhoods to deliver to. Or DoorDash, you know the right shopping centers to hang out at. Or with Uber, with me, I feel like I've really nailed the right cities at the right times, the right events, the right clientele of my passengers, which is just mostly college students.
That's looting for the police, so
okay.
I gotta wait,
But as an example with me, I like doing the college students because they're basically my peers. I'm 23, so we're all like, we get along really easy. Also, it's much easier to explain what I do because they all know what a YouTuber is. And overall, it's just a much better time. And because we can naturally get along so well, not to mention, I go to one of the more expensive parts of town, the tips are pretty good. But delivering Amazon in this college town pays no better or worse than downtown Raleigh or the ghetto of Durham, because it's not up to you. It's just you get your money and that's that. Now, to avoid turning this into an Uber video, because I will do an updated Uber video, let's go back to Amazon. One of the other big negatives for me is it is enabling my unhealthy schedules, because now just for me personally, I don't have much self-control with Amazon. If I see a good shift, I take the good shift. It doesn't matter if I've been up for 20 hours and I'm going off to bed and I scrub through my phone and I'm putting my head down. If I see a good shift that's in 2 hours, I'm going to take it and I'm going to get as much caffeine into my body as I possibly can. That's just me. That's just me being a silly Billy. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're actually responsible and ignore the $20 extra you'll get and just go to sleep and worry about it tomorrow. But I don't do that. I accept for myself. I should probably stop doing this because it is definitely wearing on my well-being, I think. When with Uber, I can schedule everything in advance. I know, okay, this town will be good at, oh, it's turning into an Uber video again, but it's just good for the comparison. This part of town will be good tomorrow. This part of town will be good Thursday. I know the event's coming up. I know everything in advance. But Amazon, for me, to make the best money, it's never in advance. It's always just an hour or a couple hours before the shift starts, because it's more likely to be an increased rate then. Another big negative for me has been, I think I can notice some vehicle wear and tear. People were talking about this. I do these gig apps and a Tesla Model 3. It is a more expensive car than others. And so I do want to preserve the life of the car. And luckily, being an electric car, whether you like them or hate them, I love EVs and gasoline vehicles. Like, I just love vehicles. Whatever, shut up. I don't care about your vehicle opinions right now. That's not the point. The point is, objectively, Amazon is worse mechanically for the car, while Uber is worse for the rest of the car. Like, the Uber makes the car dirtier, and some people have like scratched the vinyl and stuff, but Amazon definitely wears on, say, the suspension of my car, which is going in for repair in a few days. Again, it's had 4 suspension repairs, which has come out to a couple $1,000s. Now, that's not Amazon's fault entirely. I've only driven about 10,000 miles for Amazon, while the car itself has over 100,000 miles, because I just drive a lot. With that said, the Amazon shifts are, again, about quantity and not quality. This means I'm hauling ass in the Tesla. I'm like taking hard turns. On the second Prime Day, it was so many packages, and I had so little time that I was driving like over medians and taking like really hard U-turns. I was literally burning rubber a little bit. I actually had molten rubber on the car by the end of that shift. Ironically, I still, even breaking allegedly numerous traffic laws in Minecraft, of course, I still only finished on time. In addition to this, a lot of Amazon packages are on much rougher roads that you can't avoid. If your customer that is taking the package lives down 6 miles of gravel road, you can't just not drive down 6 miles of gravel road. You have to complete the delivery. And a lot of my shifts for where I am in North Carolina are rural routes where I'm going down farm roads with potholes and mud and all this stuff. When with Uber, while people live on farms and order Ubers from farms, I can see where that Uber customer is. And so I can just not take that order. And I have certain streets that I know that I should avoid because it's going to be either annoying to get there, say for traffic or road closures, or also just a road that I would rather not drive on. So yeah, with Amazon, you're taking your vehicle on all terrain, and even my car at stock height still scrapes like all the time doing these Amazon shifts. But I've never scraped my car doing Uber or DoorDash or Instacart for that matter. But yeah, another downside is it has simply become relatively unfulfilling to do Amazon. This is not a surprise at all. In fact, it actually lasted a lot longer than I expected. I thought it would feel unfulfilling within 4 weeks, but a year later, I still do find some fulfillment in it. It's just the fact I can't grow anywhere from it, and it's not meant to be a full-time job. It's meant to be, like, Amazon advertises the flex position as a way to reach your goals, get that savings earned, get that wedding, like, it's like get money quick and fast, not save for retirement and retire after doing Amazon Flex for 40 years. Like, that's not the point of it, and you shouldn't treat it like that, in my opinion, though there are a lot of people that seem to do it full time. And so ultimately it's kind of, I've simply puttered out, and I've like, my work here is done pretty much. It's Amazon Flex, I think, is kind of intended to be a high turnover position, and so yeah, that's not a bad thing, that's just how it is. But I don't want to make it sound like this has been a negative experience. I've actually really enjoyed Amazon, and I think if you wish, I will do some more Amazon videos, not only of shifts, but also of the breakdowns. I didn't even talk about the finances much in this video, so I will definitely do that as well. But yeah, no, it actually served its purpose really well. I was feeling super burnt out. I just wasn't in a great mood last year, and Amazon was a great way for me to pay my bills in a relatively low stress environment pretty easily on my own time whenever, like, when I wanted. Like, it's great. I still think it's a very nice position, and I highly recommend it if you can find it in your area, and if there's not a wait list. I think I got kind of the perfect Amazon experience. For 1 year, I did 100 Amazon shifts. I made some pretty decent money per hour, and it helped keep me out of financial deficits. Like, it served all of its purposes, and ultimately I came out pretty unscathed, even if my car needs more suspension repairs, but I don't think it's completely Amazon's fault of that. And Amazon has simply been one of the many tools in my life to make me feel a lot more refreshed and ready to work on new projects, because I am not the one to really have like salary jobs and stuff. I tend to make money in like slightly weirder ways, like YouTube, for example. And I'm pretty much ready to start actually working on new projects again. So it's thanks to Amazon, not entirely, but we can give Amazon some credit for helping to contribute to hopefully me finding more success in other projects I do. So if I'm watching the app and if I'm hanging out in bed and I see a good shift pop up, maybe around Halloween or around Christmas or Thanksgiving, because I'm guessing it will become a lot more crowded with packages as we get even closer to the holidays, I think I'll take a shift here or there, but I won't be necessarily grinding it out like I was some of these months. For example, this August, I did 120 hours of Amazon Flex, which isn't crazy. That's about 20, like that's, I guess 20 hours a week, something like that. Oh, 30 hours a week. Oh, I was killing it. So, I mean, that's closer to full time than not at all this August. So I definitely won't be doing that this December, but if I see some good shifts, I'll take them. So I think that's how you should treat Amazon. It's a really good way to fill up some time that you have while making some not terrible money. So good opportunity, but I'm probably pretty much done with Amazon. And also shout out to everyone that like at the warehouses that are like, oh, hey, I watch your videos. Like, it's because actually you came up to me and were like, when's more Amazon videos, that I'm doing this. Cause I was actually done with Amazon videos, but because of some of you at the warehouse requested, here we go. I'll do some more. So that'll be it. I've got a couple more on the way, including Amazon, Uber, and maybe the other apps. We'll see. Let me know if you'd like to see that in the comments. And in the meantime, if you'd like to see more from me, you can check out a recent series I started called Getting a Life. I'm really proud of it. It's more about me and personal experiences that I'm gaining on camera. So I think it's cool. Maybe you'll like it. It's out of my comfort zone. It's with guests. I think it's cool. So I'll link that below as well. And again, if you would like to use Rocket Money, I have an affiliate link where I get $10 if you use my link. So I appreciate that. Every $10 is one less half hour of Amazon Flex I have to do. But I really like the app and I highly recommend it. So maybe you'll like it too. And if not, you can just uninstall it. So that'll be it. I'm Alex, and thanks for watching.